You are watching the WD Broadcasting Network, your home for racing highlights, iRacing broadcast commentary, and more. But here comes Jeremiah Woods. He wants to win in the Street Stock Showdown. He's hungry to get up to the front. If you are a fan of short track racing, the WD Broadcasting Network is your home for racing content in real life and on the sim. Follow the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that red subscribe button on YouTube to never miss an upload. Top spot away, Terzak once again into the back bumper. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network, and welcome back to the Trackmaster Sim Series for Season 6 of competition. We have completed a full 5 seasons, which is pretty crazy because we started Season 1 December 12th of 2024. We're about 6 months shy of the 2-year anniversary and already beginning Season 6. Pretty crazy. We had 12 races Season 1, finished up in March of 2025. Since then, we've kind of shortened the schedules up a little bit. We've locked in on that 6-race schedule since Season 3, and it's put on some thrilling races and some thrilling championship battles. Even last season, Carter Hollingsworth took the championship by just 22 points over Brandon Atkinson. It came down to that last race, and both drivers back here this evening ready to chase another Trackmaster Sim Series title. Looking at the schedule going forward this season, we've got a 100-lap opener here tonight, 75 laps next week. Week number 3, it's the defending champions race. They basically take the defending champion, their car number, in this case, it's Carter Hollingsworth, that number 28 machine, and add a 1 in front of it, so it'll be a 128-lapper. Week 4, we've got a 100-lapper on July 2nd. Week 5, a 75-lapper and a 200-lap championship finale, July 16th. So that's quite a ways up the road. We've got 100 laps here tonight. The key is going to be track position. As we look up above, Langley Speedway, you can see, does not have very much banking and very much straightaway. We'll look at the track map here. Track kind of cool tonight, 77 degrees on track, 74 air temp, so an easier night as far as conditions go here to open up the season. We'll get all the info updated that I forgot to update last minute. There we go. But Langley, a small track position going to mean a big thing all night long. Same thing with that inside lane. You're not going to be able to, well, at least in my opinion, you're not going to be able to make things work up on the top side. They could prove me wrong, and I would love to see it happen. But most commonly, Langley, known for being an inside dominant track. And now it is qualifying time. 37 cars, going to have 2 laps to put down their best time. We don't lock any in from qualifying. Everybody's got to lock in from their heat race. So we'll see who can go where in qualifying. First driver on track, Brandon Atkinson in the 15. Going to try to get a better lap this second time around. Comes across to the white flag. The late model stock, a lot of times you will see drivers throw away that first lap in hopes for a better lap number 2. We'll see what Atkinson can do across the stripe. 7th quick for the number 15. Right now, Evan Hassler in the 38 sits at the top of the board, a 15.095. Still some heavy hitters left to go. Justin Coleman on his second lap goes up to the 5th spot. Connors Boysen in the 45 machine. He's a driver that runs that 45 in real life in an Outlaw late model. If you're from the state of Michigan, you've probably seen that Moran number 45 making the Trackmaster Sim Series start here tonight. First lap time, 20th quick for the 45. Scored as the 045 on the left side of your screen. And second lap time, I don't think he's able to improve. Right now scored outside of the top 20. And still quick time is Evan Hassler in the 38. And now a driver that we expect to be strong this season. He won the season opener last season. And quick time for Kyle Terzak, lap number 2. A 15.061, actually lap number 1, sorry. And Dakota Walls in the 01 goes a little bit quicker on his first lap. We'll see what he can do on lap number 2. A little sideways out of 4, keeps his foot in it. And he will slow it down. Still a few drivers left to go. Braden Donaldson into the 6th spot. And Donaldson going to shut it down. I think after one lap there, he'll go back out and try to maybe get a feel for how the car is going to be. Just a couple drivers left to go here in qualifying. Jason Fair in the 18. Shut it down, lap 1. And I'm just hearing tough break for our defending champion, Carter Hollingsworth. There's some storms in the Indiana area this evening, and I think it may have affected our season champion from last season. Got it done at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Or sorry, at the Lanier National Speedway, rather. I knew we were at Lanier last season, but was looking at season 4. So I think qualifying going to be finished up. Dakota Wall is going to be your fast qualifier. And he will have a good starting spot in heat race number 1. We'll see what he can do. We'll meet our starters in just a moment. So now heat race number 1 set and ready to go. And it looks like it'll be just over a dozen cars per heat race. 8 laps to decide it. The top 7 going to be going through we look at our starting lineup. We'll try it again to look at our starting lineup. There we go. Dakota Wall is going to roll off from the top spot. He'll have Landon Farmer to his outside. in the 026. Kyle Bodrow in the 64 going to roll off third. Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine going to roll off from the fourth spot. Julian Valadez going to roll off fifth in the 21. Jace Hale going to roll off from the sixth spot. Row number 4 on the inside, Kenneth Skidmore going to roll off alongside Richard Parks, longtime Trackmaster Sim Series driver. Bob Belshaw going to roll off from the inside of row number 5, with Alex Goodall in the 124 starting 10th to his outside. And your final row of starters in heat number 1, Brett McCoy in the 1 on the inside, and Matt Mingo in the number 12 starts in the 12th spot. That is your starting field for heat race number 1. Fortunately, Carter Hollingsworth not able to make the call here tonight. We'll see if he can maybe make it back for the last chance race and try to put something together. But the green flag is out, and we are underway and racing for the first time in Season 6 for the Trackmaster Sim Series. Down the back straightaway, a pair of 26s battle it out for second behind the 01 of Dakota Walls. Oh, there's contact. The 26 on the inside. That's Bodrow in the race EPI machine. Brandon Elvis in the 70 machine. He's got Kenneth Skidmore to his inside, and we've got a caution flag out. Caution flag flies. I don't know who it was that spun to the inside. I think it was Brett McCoy. Try and watch this back right here if we can. Looked like it was off of turn number 4 is where it happened. Oh, it looked like the 113 of Richard Parks went around after contact with Brett McCoy, so not sure what exactly the... Try it one more time from a different angle there. Get the drone. It looks like the 44 made contact, and then the 4 and Brett McCoy made contact after the fact and kind of hooked each other all together. So caution flag back out, or out for the first time rather. Heat race number 1. Field behind the iRacing.com pace car. This time they should be getting the 1 to go signal. Caution laps do not count in the heat races, so gonna go 8 laps under green. Remember, your top 7 are going to transfer. Dakota Walls, Kyle Bodrow in the 26 on the outside. And through the restart zone they go. Green flag is out, and we're back racing. 5 laps remain in heat race number 1. Your top 2 get separated. Here comes Julian Valadez, Landon Farmer to the inside of Julian Valadez. Now Brandon Elvis going to try to take that spot. You can see that the outside, not the place to be on these restarts. Not very easy to get down as Jace Hale going to look to the inside of Julian Valadez. Valadez finally able to get back down in front of, that's Alex Goodall in the number 4. This time by 2 laps to go for your fast qualifier, Dakota Walls. Trying to hang on for the victory in heat race number 1. Things have calmed down behind him, but we could potentially still see a battle for the transfer spot. Alex Goodall has it. Kenneth Skidmore wants it. Down the back straightaway for the final time. A little bit of a gap there. And out of 4, it's going to be Dakota Walls picking up the victory in heat race number 1. Walls picks up the victory. Kyle Bodros 2nd, Landon Farmer 3rd, Brandon Elvis 4th, Jace Hale 5th, Julian Valadez 6th, and Alex Goodall, your top 7 transfers. We'll see the rest of them in the last chance qualifier a little bit later on. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole, it's going to be Kyle Terzak in the 0-15. To his outside, Zach Murphy. Good qualifying run from the 29. Michael Weissman in the 74, going to roll off from the 3rd spot. Next to Justin Coleman in the number 14. Chris Shepard in the 19, going to roll off from the inside of row number 3, with Tyler Muller in the 55 to his outside. Chase Swank in the number 145, going to roll off from the 7th spot, next to Chris Smith in the number 80 machine. Caleb Thompson and Tom Dean going to make up row number 5. And Steven Oberstadt making a return to the Trackmaster Sim Series. He'll start 11th in heat number 2, alongside Mike Fudge in the number 2. And Jason Fair rounds out our 13-car field. Once again, top 7. Make it straight to the main. If you're outside of the top 7, you're going to the B main. So Kyle Terzak trying to pick up where he left off last season. Picked up the victory in week 1. Then there was some controversy in one of the races. We did not see him for a couple of races, but he is back with the Trackmaster Sim Series, ready to try and pick up another victory. And the pace car is off. Heat number 2 underway for 8 laps. We are green. Through the first set of corners, Kyle Terzak takes the lead. Zach Murphy in the 29 trying to get down into the 2nd spot, but Michael Weissman right there in the 74, not letting him down. Lap number 1 in the books. We've got 7 to go. Terzak gets out to an early race lead. Zach Murphy now battles with Justin Coleman for the 3rd spot. Coleman going to get by. Move him up onto the podium. At this moment, Tyler Muller holds on to that final transfer spot. But a couple cars further back trying to make their way forward. This time by halfway and halfway home, and there's a couple cars sideways. Chase Swank in the 45. And a couple more cars collected. That was the 3 of Steven Oberstadt. Tom Dean as well. Big damage for the 45 of Chase Swank. I don't know if I've ever seen a late model stock do this on iRacing. At least not any time that I can remember recently. All kinds of damage on the 45 machine. I don't think he's going to be able to continue on with it driving like that. Let's take another look at what happened. Grab the help of our drone camera here. Watch the 45 behind Chris Shepard in the 19. I think there was a little contact there. And then maybe Tyler Muller. Yeah, I think this Tyler Muller had no time to react. Man, Tom Dean with a big hit right there. Nowhere for him to go. Let's watch on board with the 71. Yeah, and you can hear the throttle there. He was all the way out of the throttle onto the brakes. Just nowhere for him to go, not enough time to get that car checked up. So, yellow flag out in heat race number 2. We had a caution in heat 1 as well. But the field going to double up this time. They'll get the 1 to go signal. And we're just at that halfway mark. Kyle Terzak, your leader. Michael Weissman second. Justin Coleman runs in the 3rd spot. And this time by the field, we'll go through turns 3 and 4. And the 15 of Kyle Terzak launches. We're back underway with 4 to go in heat number 2. Michael Weissman in the 74 did not get the jump on that outside lane. He's going to be back to the 4th spot, but he'll be back down in front of Chris Shepard. We come back to 3 laps to go. Caleb Thompson currently holds that 7th and final transfer spot. Trying to work for some security. So he's got Tyler Moeller right in front of him. 2 laps to go. Make it white flag at the line. Final time around for Kyle Terzak. Maybe one last shot for Jason Fair in turn number 3 for the transfer spot. Looks like it's not going to be enough. Kyle Terzak, winner of heat race number 2. Justin Coleman 2nd. Zach Murphy 3rd. Michael Weissman 4th. Chris Shepard 5th. Tyler Moeller 6th. And Caleb Thompson rounds out your transferring cars in that 7th spot. So now on to our starting lineup for the 3rd and final heat race of the night. Evan Hassler going to roll off on the pole next to Braden Donaldson in the 94. And you can see just how close those 2 drivers were on time. Not very much of a gap between any of them, really any of this field. So this should be a good one here. Tanner Burge going to roll off from the 3rd spot in the 35 alongside Peyton Craig in the 78. Adam Fulford in the 71 going to start in the 5th spot on the bottom. And to his outside, it's going to be the 15 guy who finished runner-up last season, Brandon Atkinson. Jesse Henderson in the 17 going to start in the 7th spot here this evening. And to his outside, it's going to be Owen Wilson in the number 20. Rounding out your top 10 starters in heat number 3, Connor Zaboysen in the 045. Alongside Brandon Kelly in the 8, starts in the 10th position. Tim Dayton in the 84, starting in the 11th spot. And then Tyler Clare in the 33, going to start 12th. And rounding out our starting field, going to be Jacob Phillips in the 56. So one final heat race before we dive into tonight's last chance qualifier and prepare for our 100-lap main event. Field going to get the 1 to go signal. Evan Hassler on the inside. Braden Donaldson on the outside. That's your front row. Tanner Burge, Peyton Craig, row 2. In row number 3, a couple of regulars here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Adam Fulford on the inside, Brandon Atkinson on the outside. So through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off. Heat race number 3 underway for 8 laps. Down into turn number 1, Evan Hassler in the 38 gets a good start, but here comes the 94, Braden Donaldson right there on the outside. Not giving up on that outside lane. Leader of lap number 1 is going to be Hassler, but not by much, as Donaldson's still right there fighting for second. Tanner Burge to the inside, a little contact there. 94 of Donaldson trying his hardest to hold that outside lane, and this is good practice for later on, because if you can fight on that outside lane and hold that spot, it may come in useful later on in the race, as you see Peyton Craig now looking to the inside of Braden Donaldson. Tanner Burge starts to peek out ahead just a little bit. Burge into that second spot. Craig and Donaldson still battle for fourth. Now Adam Fulford going to throw his nose into the mix. It'll be popsicle sticks in the air this time. 2 laps to go. 2 to go in heat number 3 for Evan Hassler. We're watching the battle just ahead of that final transfer spot right now. Brandon Atkinson has the final transfer spot, but I'm sure Connors Bosian going to be hungry. As the white flag out this time, Evan Hassler down the back straightaway for the final time. Leads by 3 car lengths into 3. Big lunge from Tanner Burge, but it's going to be Evan Hassler picking up the victory in heat race number 3. Tanner Burge second, Peyton Craig third, Adam Fulford fourth, Braden Donaldson fifth, Jesse Henderson sixth, and Brandon Atkinson rounds out our final transferring cars in the 7th spot. And now it looks like we may have a warm-up session here. So we may be skipping through our last chance qualifier. We're going to take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network while we get things sorted out and get things prepared for our 100-lap main event. Stay with us. We'll be back in just one moment. Bring you guys race number 1 for the Trackmaster Sim Series season number 6.
Horsepower Happenings Podcast is Michigan's short track racing authority. For nearly a decade, Horsepower Happenings has given race fans a chance to hear directly from their favorite drivers, local track owners, and promoters. Horsepower Happenings is the only podcast keeping fans engaged with Michigan area racing for 52 weeks a year. Don't miss the Horsepower Happenings Podcast live on Facebook every Monday night at 6:30 and available everywhere you enjoy podcasts. Visit horsepowerhappenings.com and follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more.
Well, race fans, it looks like it did skip through our last chance qualifying session. So the warm-up is complete. We are ready to go 100 laps here at the Langley Speedway. If you've got a pick, put them down in the chat below. We're getting ready to meet our starting lineup for race number 1 of the Trackmaster Sim Series season. We'll get our starting lineup on screen for you guys at home. Scheduled to start on the pole is going to be Dakota Walls in the 0-1. To his outside, it's going to be Kyle Terzak in the 0-1-5. Evan Hassler in the 38, going to start from the 3rd spot alongside Kyle Bordreau in the 64. Inside of row number 3, that's going to be the 14 of Justin Coleman. He picked up a victory last season at the Langley National Speedway. That was in week... It was actually in season 4. Man, time flies, especially when we're only doing 6 race seasons. Coleman picked up the victory February 12th of this year at Southern National. That was a 100-lap race as well, so we'll see what the 14 can do. Tanner Burge in the number 35, going to roll off from the 6th position alongside... We'll move back a row. Landon Farmer on the inside of row number 4. He'll start next to Zach Murphy in the number 29 machine. Going to start from the 8th spot here tonight. Peyton Craig in the number 78. Going to make up the inside of row number 5. To his outside, Brandon Elvis in the 54. Row number 6 on the bottom, Michael Weissman in the number 74. Going to start 11th alongside Adam Fulford in the 71, who will start 12th. In the 13th spot, it's going to be Jace Hale starting alongside Chris Shepard in the 19. Braden Donaldson in the 94 will roll off from the 15th spot next to Julian Valadez in the 21, who's going to start 16th. Tyler Muller in the 17th spot, in the number 55. We'll have Jesse Henderson starting in the 18th spot to his right side door. Row number 10 on the bottom, it's going to be Alex Goodall in the number 124. And to his outside, the 04, that's Caleb Thompson. That's your top 20 starters. And then back behind, Brandon Atkinson, going to roll off 21st. To his outside, Kenneth Skidmore going to start 22nd. And I believe this is going to round out our field right here. Jason Fair in the 18. And Connor Zvosian in the 045 tonight. Going to start from the 24th spot. So a good field of cars on hand. And we are just about ready to get this one kicked off. Oftentimes, race control does have an invert of some sort. So we'll see what that looks like. In just a moment. Or we could have scrapped the invert and it may have gotten past me. Yeah, and it looks like we are keeping the drivers lined up as they are. So Dakota Walls going to bring this field to the green. 100 laps the distance. And the big kicker tonight is going to be keeping that car to the inside lane. You don't have a set of tires in the pits. You've got to keep this tire set happy for the entire 100 laps while maintaining that track position. Going to be tough for Kyle Terzak on the outside lane in the number 15, but we'll see what he can do. We should be going green this time. Might be next time by. The field doesn't quite look tightened up. We'll get the 1 to go signal this time. Want to give these drivers a couple moments to get the tires warmed up, make sure everything's ready to go before we go green flag racing. Dakota Walls, Kyle Turzak, row number 1. Evan Hassler, Kyle Bodrow, row number 2. Justin Coleman, Tanner Burge, row number 3. Getting ready to go. 100 laps at Langley to kick off the Trackmaster Sim Series season. The field tightens up through turns 3 and 4. It is in the hands of the iRacing flagman. He'll drop the green flag, and we are underway for the first time this season down into turns 1 and 2. Kyle Turzak in the 0-15, got the jump on that outside lane. He's going to come around to lead lap number 1. He'll take the top spot away from Dakota Walls. Kyle Turzak leads at Langley. First couple of cars side by side. Justin Coleman underneath Tanner Burge. That is for the 5th spot. Burge in the 35 started on that outside lane, but he's trying to get down early on. Here's trouble. The 0-1 of Dakota Walls up into the outside wall. He's way up the racetrack, and he's got damage on the right front of that machine. He's going to lose several spots. Tough break for your fast qualifier here tonight. Significant damage on the right front of that. 0-1. And he is going to be forced to come to pit road early. Peyton Craig in the 78 gets around Brandon Elvis. That's for the 7th spot on the racetrack. Elvis back to the 8th position, but out front, Kyle Turzak holds the race lead, coming around to complete lap number 5. A little further back, Braden Donaldson to the inside of Landon Farmer. A new look for that 26 machine this season. I didn't recognize him at first. But Farmer back with the Trackmaster Sim Series, right now running in the 12th spot. Battling with Tyler Muller. Up front, Justin Coleman in the 14. He's got Brandon Elvis, Tanner Burge. I was thinking of Brandon Elvis in that 70 machine. But Burge gets by the 14 of Coleman. Give Tanner Burge the 4th spot, and at this point in the race, it's almost a battle of imagining when the caution flag will come out. When you're in maybe the 4th spot, the 6th spot, you want to pass a car, and if somebody maybe gets to your inside, you may just go ahead and give it to them. In case you get a caution flag, you want to be on the inside lane. It's going to be very difficult to move forward from the outside lane on these restarts. We come around to complete lap number 10 up front, battle for the race lead. Starting to heat up, Evan Hassler reeling in the 15 of Kyle Turzak. That last time around, Hassler just a little bit quicker. Turzak that time picked it up a tiny bit, but both of those cars very close on lap time. Turzak right now holds the advantage just barely, a car length separating the two. As they head down the back straightaway, lap traffic starting to come into view for your race leader. That's the 45 of Connor Zbozian. Scored in the 23rd spot right now. We've been green from the drop of the initial green flag. Lap 15 up on the board. Evan Hassler in the 38, right there in the 2nd spot, just trying to keep Kyle Turzak close in the 15. But you also don't want to burn up your stuff trying to keep the 15 of Kyle Turzak at bay. A long race. 100 laps may not seem like a long time, but it is still plenty of time to use up the good in that race car, as we've got a group of cars battling for that final spot in the top 20. Oh, and around goes Caleb Thompson in one, right in front of Connor Zabozi, and he got it looped back around. But Caleb Thompson loops it in turn number one. We'll go under yellow for the first time here tonight. We'll take another look at what happened. There's the 0-4 on the outside. Mike Fudge in the 2, I think, just went for the same piece of racetrack down into 1 and 2, and you could see, man, the 45 had to get on the binders in 1, barely missing contact. But a little spin in turn number 1 puts us under yellow for the first time. We'll ride on board with Caleb Thompson, see what he saw. Yeah, hard to tell there. Didn't look like he turned down into the corner extra or anything like that. So the 0-4 going to be scored in the 21st spot. Right now, 23 cars on the lead lap. That'll reset things for your race leader, Kyle Terzak, who got the lead from the outside lane down into turns 1 and 2. Lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. We'll send them back green, just shy of a quarter of the way through this one. Kyle Terzak gets a good launch to the restart zone, and we are back racing. 22 laps into this 100-lap season opener for the Trackmaster Sim Series. Through the first set of corners and down into turn number 3, Terzak leads by 2 car lengths over Evan Hassler. But now here comes Kyle Beaudreau and Tanner Burge. They're battling for third, back behind 26, a little bit up the racetrack through turn number 3 that time. Beaudreau trying to take that spot away, but running out of real estate on that inside lane. Squeezes the 35 up into the higher part of the back straightaway, and Burge going to have to give way and fall back into that 4th position. See if he can get another go at the number 26. Meanwhile, up front, and that 38 looks real good on the short run. Oh, there's contact. Hassler in the 38 got into the back bumper of Kyle Terzak. Checked up a couple cars back behind him. And now Tanner Burge going to look to the inside of Kyle Beaudreau in the 64. He scored as the 64 on the left side of your guys' screen. The 26 right there on screen. Here comes Peyton Craig to the bottom. Craig down to the inside. Beaudreau on the outside. Now Justin Coleman going to look to the inside, and you can see as soon as that 26 car got up to the outside lane how hard it's going to be for him to get back down to the bottom. And caution flag is out. Caleb Thompson in the 0-4 around again on the front straightaway. Did not catch that one. But Thompson not having the start to the season that he wanted. We'll take another look at what happened. Looks like he got hit from behind. I think Julian Valadez was right there in the 21. Looked like in front of the 04, someone may have gotten just a little bit loose. And then as that happened, little stack up off the corner and around went Caleb Thompson. Tough break for the 04. We'll watch behind that 21 of Julian Valadez. See if he can tell us a better story. Yeah, it didn't look like the 04 checked up that much. It just didn't look like the 21 checked up. But either way, Thompson around for the second time this race. Scored 22nd. He'll have a long way to move back forward. We are inside of 70 laps to go. It'll be 33 in this time, 67 laps remain. The field doubles up. Lights go off on the iRacing.com pace car. We're going to send them green this time. About 15 laps shy of the halfway mark in this Trackmaster Sim Series season opener. Kyle Turzak on the inside lane. Evan Hassler on the outside. Through the restart zone they go. Another good launch from the 15 of Turzak. Hassler going to clear down to the bottom for a second. Oh, and the 14 of Coleman is sideways and a big one. Down the back straightaway, several cars collected. And more down into turn number 3. Michael Weissman in the 74 was looped around. Brandon Elvis in the 70 with some damage on the front end of that race car. And that one was a big one down the backstretch. Let's look at that again. Just watch the start again. I think it all happened right around the 14 of Justin Coleman. Watch number 14 down into turn number 1. On the inside lane, I think the 78 stacked up in front of him, and then the 74 of Weissman got into his back bumper, and you can see the further chaos down into the corner. Go on board for this one with Brandon Elvis. I tried to, anyhow. On board with the 54. Yeah, you could see he had that initial contact kind of missed. And as he got out of the corner, there was car sitting right there on the wall. That was Kyle Bodrow in the 64. So under caution right now, Kyle Turzak is your race leader. Third caution flag of the event. We're just shy of 40 laps in. And several cars on pit road getting some damage fixed up. Dakota Walls back out in the 01. But this time by, the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. We're going to send them back green this time by. It's Kyle Turzak, Evan Hassler, Tanner Burge, and Peyton Craig now your top 4. we work down into turn number 3. Pace car going to make the hard left turn down onto pit road once again. And we'll try it one more time. We'll see if the 38 can get a better jump from that outside lane. Looks like not that time. Green flag back out. Herzak with a big run down into turn number 1. He'll be clear into 3, but here comes Evan Hassler right there on the back bumper. 40 laps in, and caution flag flies. Caution flag back out. I don't think the pace car even got back to pit road all the way, or back down to his pit stall, rather. And Jesse Henderson in the 17. Let's see what happened. Was underneath, I believe that's the 4 of Kenneth Skidmore, and then got tagged by Jace Hale in the 9. Another game of bumper tag, it looks like. Here's the onboard with the 4. I guess that wasn't a very good view. Let's go on board with Jace Hale in the 9. I think that's the one we were looking for. There it is. Yeah, you can see the 17 kind of got loose in front of him. Doesn't make it easier to check up, especially when you are already kind of committed to that point in the corner. So a quick caution that time puts us right back under yellow. 4 caution flags in this one so far. Herzak from the 2nd spot has led since the drop of the green. One to go, signal given once again. We'll try it another time here down into turn number 3. Hassler in the 38's been right there coming out at 2, but if he can get a better run right from the launch right here, he may have a shot at this one. As a little bit of a stack up through the restart zone, but we're back underway. And Kyle Herzak leads us down into turns 1 and 2. Tanner Burge holds the 3rd spot down into 3 and 4. Here comes Zach Murphy underneath Justin Coleman looking for 5th. Field comes back around that time. And it looks like everybody all good. Just shy of halfway here. Kyle Herzak going to see the cross flags in a couple laps. We're watching the battle for the 5th spot. Zach Murphy on the inside of Justin Coleman. Coleman sideways up the racetrack a little bit, but Murphy sideways as well in the 29. Both drivers struggling to get the power down. And you can see as they get side by side, the gap to Peyton Craig up in front of them starting to get bigger and bigger. This time around, Kyle Herzak sees the cross flags halfway in, halfway home. And a big dive to the inside from Braden Donaldson. Donaldson underneath Zach Murphy, and contact there. Murphy drove it off deep down into turn number 3 to get that car clear back down to the bottom. Look back up front. Kyle Herzak is still your race leader, but not by much. Only a couple car lengths separating him and Evan Hassler, and Tanner Burge in the 35 starting to creep a little closer as well. We'll see if your 6th place qualifier has anything as we get into the later portion of this race. Lap 55 going to be complete this time. This is the battle for the 13th spot. Jesse Henderson underneath Alex Goodall. Goodall going to have to give way on the top. Going to try the crossover move down the back straightaway, down into 3. See if he can get that car rotated on the bottom. We had one around up at the top of 4. I think that was Caleb Thompson again in the 0-4. Man, he has had a tough night. He has definitely been the bug on the windshield. Hopefully it can turn around for him if we get another caution flag. Looks like Goodall able to take that spot away from Jesse Henderson. Now up front, the race lead starting to get a little bit bigger as they head down into turn number 3. You can see the field definitely getting spread out as we get some green flag laps in here. And there's Kyle Terzak. Got a couple car lengths back to him. Terzak going to have some lap traffic up in front of him. We're inside of 40 laps to go. First car a lap down right there is Kenneth Skidmore. Currently runs 21st. Not going to put up a fight here. And caution flag flies. I believe Julian Valadez in the 21 may have been involved. Looks like Brandon Atkinson was involved. Watch again. Oh, and the 21. Hard into the left rear of the 15 and around. They both went. Atkinson had to bring it to a stop. Luckily got it turned back around in front of your race leaders, able to drive in front of the pace car there. Watch on board 21 of Julian Valadez. Yeah, looked like just floated off a little bit too far into the corner. Was trying to let that car free roll the best that he could and just tagged Atkinson in the left rear. So 5th caution of the night. Terzak gets the 1 to go signal. He'll once again choose the inside lane. And the question now is, can anybody beat him on this restart? We'll watch what happens as the field heads down into turns 3 and 4. Pace car once again going to pull off to the safety of pit road. And we'll try it one more time. 67 laps in, 33 to go. Down into turns 1 and 2. Evan Hassler clears Tanner Burge for 2nd. He'll set his sights on your leader, Kyle Terzak. Oh, and big caution for 2nd. Tanner Burge around in the 35. Got shot up the racetrack. And heavy, heavy damage on the 35 of Tanner Burge. Immediately brings it down pit road. And the caution flag back out. They were all kind of battling for that third spot. That Peyton Craig in the 75. I think they just got connected at a bad angle there, and some other cars got involved as well. You can see Chris Shepard in the 19. That's Mike Fudge in the number 2. But heavy damage for 35 of Burge. We'll watch that on board with the number 78 of Peyton Craig, who he saw. And you could see as soon as they made contact, there was almost no bringing it back from that point. And unfortunately, the 35 sits on pit road. And he's going to have to watch the rest of this one from the top of the box. One to go, signal back out. We'll try and get these drivers back racing here. Kurzak in the 15 has been lights out on these restarts. We'll see if Evan Hassler has anything up his sleeve. We go down into turn number 3. Pace car is off. Through the restart zone they go. Back underway. 29 laps to go here at Langley, and battle is on for the second spot. Tyler Muller to the inside of Evan Hassler. How about Tyler Muller? Up 14 spots. Started 17th in this one, up 14 positions. Now trying to take that second spot away from Evan Hassler, but Hassler fighting back on that outside. Hassler in the 38 tried to shut the door that time down into 1. Muller able to keep the 55 right there alongside. Trying to use that inside lane to his advantage, and caution flag back out. Looks like the 38 of Hassler will retain that spot. We've got one going off-roading in turn number 3. Looks like the 70 of Brandon Elvis got into the left side, and oh, Skidmore made more contact after the fact. I didn't see quite how it happened. Try and look at the drone camera of that one. This is down into 1. Watch the 70 of Elvis drive off in there. Looks like the 4 was just trying to hold tight, and both drivers up into the outside wall. They end up the wrong way. To the 7th caution flag of the night, Kyle Turzak holds the top spot still. Tyler Muller in the 55. If he can get by Evan Hassler on one of these restarts, he may have something for Kyle Turzak. He's came up from the 17th spot. We'll find out on this restart. We get doubled back up behind the iRacing.com pace car. Turzak, Hassler, Muller, and Donaldson, your top 4, getting ready to bring us back to green inside of 25 laps to go. Laps are running out. Who's it going to be in race number 1 of the season for the Trackmaster Sim Series? Pace car is off. Into the restart zone they go. Another good launch from the 15 of Kyle Turzak, and we're back racing. Evan Hassler in the 38 able to get down into the 2nd spot. We'll see if he can set his sights on your leader, and caution back out. Mike Fudge in turn number 1 going off-road. Jesse Henderson, I think, off the pace a little bit there. So cautions breed cautions. You know how it is in short track racing. Let's see what happened to the number 2. Looks like Peyton Craig in the 78 dove it down 3 wide and kind of ran the number 2 of Mike Fudge out of room. Had to make contact, and around he went. Watch the drone footage here. You can see the 78 dive down to the inside and kind of squeeze up. Gets the 2 of Fudge into Julian Valadez, and then they both have to check up, and there was nowhere for Jesse Henderson to go. So Kyle Terzak going to have to execute another restart. And if you're Evan Hassler, you may have to try and play some kind of a game on this restart to see, maybe test the waters, see what you can get away with. Because he has not been able to get a good launch alongside that number 15 thus far. We'll try it again as the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. The field doubled up. Still, I believe, 19 cars on the lead lap. So we'll send them back to green. Kyle Terzak, Evan Hassler one more time. 17 to go here at Langley. Everybody through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Zach Murphy to the inside of Braden Donaldson. That's for the 3rd spot, and caution flag is out. We've got a couple cars spun around in turn number 4. Alex Goodall in the number 124 was the first driver to go around. And then a couple drivers spun, I think, avoiding. Caution flag flies. We're going to watch it back from the restart. You see the 4 get into the 71 of Adam Fulford. And then this is down into turn number 3. Contact from Jace Hale in the 9. And I think after the fact, Hale was still trying to collect that race car. Maybe tagged a couple other drivers off of 4. So the caution flag back out. 9 caution flags here in the season opener. We still have just under 15 laps of racing left. Terzak, your leader. Evan Hassler, 2nd. Tyler Muller, 3rd. Braden Donaldson, 4th, and Zach Murphy rounds out your top 5 as they stand. Lights off once again on the iRacing.com pace car. They will come back to the green out of 4. We'll see if we can get some laps in here. Running out of time if you're Evan Hassler, Braden Donaldson, Tyler Muller, any of these drivers up in the top 4 that want to get around Kyle Terzak. See if anybody's got anything for the 15. As the green flag comes back out, we're back underway with 12 to go here at Langley. Through the first set of corners, Evan Hassler in the 38 trying to get back to the bumper of the 15 of Kyle Terzak. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. A couple cars sideways. That was Michael Weissman and Adam Fulford made contact down into 1. Fulford going to take the spot. Looks like Weissman back to the 9th position, battling for that with Kenneth Skidmore. Up front, your race leader, Kyle Terzak, just set the fastest lap of the race. We'll see if he can pick up just a little bit here and try to extend that race lead. Meanwhile, Tyler Muller gets around Braden Donaldson for 3rd. And caution flag back out. Caution flag. Kenneth Skidmore and Caleb Thompson. Watch what happened to the number 4. Looked like got tagged from behind. Chris Shepard in the 19. And then what happened to Caleb Thompson? He got tagged after the fact, it looked like. Try and see Caleb Thompson's view of this. This was right in front of him, that initial spin. Yep. It looked like just tagged from behind. I don't know if he was tagged by Kenneth Skidmore or see if we can get a better look at the 0-4 spin. It looked like got tagged by Alex Goodall in the 124, what it was. The 10th caution flag of the evening. We're going to be getting into green-white checkered range here soon, if you can believe it. Lights off on the iRacing.com pace car this time. It will not be a green-white checkered this time around, I don't believe. I believe it will be a 3-lap-to-go restart. Three laps to go. Green flag is back out. Popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 to go for Kyle Terzak. Trying to hold off Evan Hassler and pick up the victory. It's a dogfight for 3rd back behind him. White flag is out. Final time for Kyle Terzak. Is there anything left from Evan Hassler? Big dive into turn number 3 that time, but couldn't, or turn number 1, but couldn't quite get it. Big lunge again. Evan Hassler tried it, but not going to be able to get it. Kyle Terzak is your winner as they spin back across the line behind. We're going to take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network and wrap things up quickly because we have got a storm rolling in to the northeastern side of Indiana, and I've heard it is pretty bad and probably need to relocate. So we'll be back here in one moment and wrap things up on the WD Broadcasting Network. All right, folks, we are back here with our feature winner here tonight, Kyle Terzak. Kyle, he's qualified second and took the lead down into one. I want to start from there. Break that down for me. How did you get the lead from the top?
Honestly, he was just sleeping. I saw a green, and I put it in the third, and I was already clear. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, at first I was like, did I jump? But race control said start was clean and everything. So, I'm looking back at it right now, and I fired on green. So, just lucky. Honestly, I don't think I really could have gotten that, but. Pretty good race besides the cautions. It's the first race with this, track car combo with the horsepower, but, everybody will get it down, and, we had a good race up front for a little bit, so hopefully we can carry this in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah, you definitely didn't have it easy there on the restarts, or at least at the front there. Evan Hassler kept it close that entire time, and a couple times he was right there on the back bumper, thought about taking a peek inside, so... Good for you to get the victory in your return back to the Trackmaster Sim Series. That's 2 seasons in a row you've won the season opener. Do you think you can do it 2 in a row?
Hopefully. I just got to keep on my head straight, right? It's all about being consistent, short series, so you just got to be consistent, right? Like I said, you just got to be a points racer, really. I mean, good to get the first win of the season, but, after this, you got to be all over the points, right? So, going to go next week and see what we can do there. I feel like we got a pretty good base for now, and with this higher horsepower, it kind of messes up the ride heights and everything. So, hopefully we can take this base and go with the longer races, be good there, and the shorter races be good there. So, I can't thank Ryan Kuhn enough for this amazing setup. Hot Shot Photography, best iRacing photos. CP for putting this on you for the broadcast. Corey Buddy Rouse, Matthew Designs for your life stuff, and everybody who's watching back at home.
All right, well, congratulations on your win here tonight, Kyle, and we wish you luck in the sprint cars on Monday.
Thank you.
Sir. All right, folks, that was your winner here tonight. We're going to quickly talk to our second-place finisher, Evan Hassler. Get him up in the booth. I looked outside. The storm's not on my back porch, so we're not quite there yet. Evan Hassler, second-place finisher, up in the booth. You got a copy? Going once, going twice, got me? Okay, hang on. All right, Evan, second place finish here tonight. Man, it was a tough one there, trying to just get the car wound up on the restarts. It looked like a couple times you had a car that fired off real good on the short runs, but once we did get spread out there, Kyle did start to pull away just a little bit, but man, those heat cycles definitely didn't help things.
Yeah, like the first couple cautions, it was really, really good, and then there was a longer one, and it just kind of fell off after that. The green flag run, I burnt my right rear off and was just kind of holding on till the end.
Yeah, we knew that this race going into it, especially with the extra power, was going to be demanding on that right rear tire. Did you at least learn some notes for maybe next week down the road?
Yeah, the setup was a little bit off. Usually I can manage my right rear pretty good, but I would come in and it would just kind of snap and just keep it hot all the way through the corner, which didn't help, but we should be good next week.
Yeah, good second place finish to start out this season. Like you said, you can make adjustments and maybe pick up the victory next week, improve one spot. That's all you got to do. So congrats on your second place finish here tonight. Who do you have to thank for a podium in week 1?
Tyler Muller, and that's it.
All right. Well, we're about to talk to Tyler Muller, so we'll see if he thanks you back. If not, you guys are going to have words after this. But congratulations to you, Evan, on your second place finish here tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Let's talk to our third place finisher here tonight. Up in the broadcast booth, Tyler Muller. Got a copy?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, third place finisher here tonight. You didn't have it easy. You worked your way up from 17th. Here this evening, and it was kind of a caution-filled race. How'd you do it, and how'd you avoid the chaos?
Honestly, I don't know. I kind of was just driving. For the first half of the race, I don't think I passed a single car into green flag conditions. I made all my spots by yellows. And then towards the end, I finally caught my second wind and started going a little faster. And then I found myself in third and was just trying to hang on to it.
Yeah, it looked like that 55 had some pretty good drive there at the end. maybe not the car for Evan or Terzak at the front, but definitely a top 5 podium car like we saw here at the finish. Qualifying in this series means a lot, and especially qualifying and being able to transfer that qualifying into the heat race. What notes can you take from this week into next week to try and give yourself a better starting spot to have a better chance at the finish?
Don't screw up into turn 3 on my money lap is probably a good place to start.
Yeah, it's always the late model stock too is so hard because a lot of us, I don't know if you're the same boat as me, but a lot of us throw away our first lap and go money lap, lap 2. So if you do that and you mess up just a little bit, you're gonna be hurting like you maybe did tonight.
Yeah, I threw away my first lap and I went for the second lap and I just overshot turn 3, and that kind of set the tone to the whole night. But we worked our way to the front, so it was all right in the end.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to recover. It's always, I think it's more fun to drive from the back and finish third than run third the whole race. So definitely a good run from the 55 here tonight. Who do you have to thank for podium finish?
I want to thank the boys back at 47 for giving me a good setup. My buddy Evan Hassler for being my buddy, moral support, and that's about it.
Alrighty, well, you passed the test. Evan thanked you and said you had to make sure that you thanked him. So you guys are on the same page. Good to go there. Good to go for next week. So congratulations on a third place finish here tonight, and hopefully we can talk to you later on this season.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was your third place finisher, Tyler Muller. Let's quickly run through our finishing results. We'll get all those up on screen for you guys. Hopefully it all looks right. There we go. Your winner, Kyle Terzak. Second place is Evan Hassler. Tyler Muller comes home third. Braden Donaldson comes home fourth. Zach Murphy rounds out your top 5. Justin Coleman comes home 6th. Adam Fulford 7th. Michael Weissman 8th. Brandon Atkinson 9th. Peyton Craig comes home 10th. Jesse Henderson 11th. Julian Valadez 12th. Kenneth Skidmore 13th. Jace Hale 14th. Chris Shepard 15th. Mike Fudge 16th. Caleb Thompson 17th. Alex Goodall rounds out your lead lap finishers in 18th. And then back behind, rounding out our field, it's Connor Zabosian, Dakota Walls, Brandon Elvis, Tanner Burge, Landon Farmer, and Kyle Bodro. So that will wrap up our coverage for tonight's race, the first of 6 races for Season 6 in the Trackmaster Sim Series. Next week we have a 75-lapper right here at Langley. No sets of tires in the pits, so a little bit shorter. Hopefully we get some more green flag laps for you. But thank you guys for watching the WD Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Winston Deal. Going to sign it off. We'll see you guys Monday and Tuesday for the Lead the Pack stuff, including our 500 Sprint Car Tour Sim Series on Monday night. So see you guys next week. I'm going to go maybe head to a storm shelter. But thank you guys for watching. Hit that red subscribe button. Till next time, peace out.